when a dog does something terrible because it is in the dog's nature to be that way. Apologists will line up to tell you all about how it wasn't the poor doggy's fault. For instance, when a dog harasses or attacks someone, or when it engages in property destruction, even if the owner is nowhere to be found, or even if there is no owner, it is somehow the owner's fault. Except for when a dog kills someone, in which case, I suppose suddenly the owners would not want to take responsibility. Of course, this is a false dichotomy, which is defined as a logical fallacy in which a spectrum of possible options is misrepresented as an either-or choice between two mutually exclusive things, when in reality, there are multiple possibilities. It's not an either-or thing. In this case, both the dog and the owner can be blamed. It's not one or the other. The owner is responsible for having the dog at all. That is what they shouldn't be doing, and we can all agree. However, the dog is still the direct, most immediate identifiable cause of its own actions. Suppose a pit bull did what pit bulls do. Taken to its logical conclusion, this would mean that the owner was responsible for the mauling. But dogs have their own drives and motivations, and these are external to those of their owners. Being a dog does not mean you can't be the direct cause of something bad, which is really what we're talking about here. Just imagine if the dog were no part of the equation. Suddenly, there would be nothing to blame anyone over. The dog is the root cause. Of course, this is nothing more than an attempt to downplay the severity of the violation perpetrated by the dog. This point about who or what is to be blamed is very tedious. Even if you want to argue that dogs have no impulse control, which of course is true, they nonetheless remain the sole cause of whatever actions they themselves choose to carry out. The fact that a dog is highly instinct-driven and has no capacity to self-regulate is precisely what makes it a bad fit for human society. It is not an excuse to allow something that behaves that way to be on human territory. Let's go back to ownership. This is only a prior cause. But when you're walking in a parking lot and some hideous abomination comes out of nowhere to latch onto your leg, the dog that is biting you in that moment is obviously the problem. It goes without saying that the owner shouldn't have a creature that is capable, and often willing, to do something like this. But the dog is the actual entity that is aggressing against you, very directly.